The New York Knicks floppers. Really, NBA? Is this the best you can do? This is what you can give me? And try to put a championship on this? You better guess again, buddy. Try again. This is what I talk about, people. This is what we speak about. Frauds, imitators. Most of you might believe Jalen Brunson is the leader of this team, right? Butterball. But he's not. The leader of this team is the guy you see right there in front of you, Josh Hart. Josh Hart is the leader of the New York Knicks. Why? Because Butterball ain't got the stomach for it. But the league wants to promote him as a superstar in this league because they have so far few and many. Now, Donovan Mitchell is light years better than him, but that's for another day. Now, let's stick to why we're here. Because that's so much better. Now, the reason we're here is clear. You see, the New York Knicks have a major problem. Josh Hart is a starting two guard in this league. Starting. Now, he's not going to give you great spacing on the floor. He's one of my favorite Knicks on the team because of his scrappiness. But he's better off the bench with the second unit. Out of a starting two guard, he's got some of the worst numbers. They said he averaged 13 points per game this season. I don't know where they even got that stat from. This is a guy who struggles to give you 10 as a starting point guard. Two guard in this league. Defensively, he's not a lockdown defender, but he's a beast on the rebounds, on the offensive glass. That's where his production comes in at. Now, if you look at Brunson, well, it's almost like, what am I looking at? What am I looking at when it comes to Jalen Brunson? This is a one-arm dribbler who gets away with illegal screens set for him, pushes off, and just throws up prayers because they want to make him a superstar because he's a Nepo baby, because his goddaddy is the head coach. His other goddaddy is the president and general manager, Leon Rose. And his real daddy is an assistant coach. All to push this butterball into the position of being a real player in the NBA, a superstar. Jalen Brunson is a superstar. Jesus Christ. A 5-foot midget. All because they need New York to pop. They need the Knicks to be something again. So they do a trade for Karl-Anthony Towns, who's soft as wet tissue, comes out crying all the time because he's not getting called. But they wanted to shoehorn this team in there once Jason Tatum went down. So that's the marketing. That's your Superman promo. All of that is gone now. And we're stuck with this Jason Tatum crap. We're forced to deal with this. And as it's presented itself to us. Unbelievable. Well, like I always say, things happen for a reason. The New York Knicks are who we thought they were. Their fans don't care. They've been sucking for so long. They just want to go ahead and just throw anybody like that. Hart didn't even want to start. He thinks he's more effective coming out with the second unit, not being on the floor with Cat. That's not what he wants. But the coach says, no, we need you playing more minutes. That's going to help the team. Well, when you're in the game and you're afraid to take shots because you're not a good shooter from three, you're not going to stretch the floor. Things are going to change. He shot about 20%, 29% from three the previous year. This year, he's only like probably 31, 32% from the three. That's fine. You know why? Because Josh Hart is one of those guys who's just scrappy. I expect that from him. I expect him to be on that boat. Now, what I don't expect is all these other players, right? To be looked at as a threat in the league. I don't respect none of these other players. What's his name? OG ain't nobody. Now everybody's like, "Oh man, he's African." This is a Britain. He's a guy from Britain. Now the Knicks signed him to a massive contract. Now this is a guy who was injured a lot when he was with the Raptors. Played well, played good defense when he was there, but they were the Raptors, okay? Nobody was really paying too much attention to him. Right. Everybody think OG and nobody came from Africa. He came from London. But what got my attention is when the Knicks signed him to a 5-year, $212 million contract. $212.5 million contract. Guaranteed. He's getting paid $42.5 million this year with a base salary of $36 million. So the cap hit is $36 million and a dead cap value of $36 million. So his contract is massive for the Knicks. So this is supposed to even you out. Nah, grossly overpaid. This guy shows up and give you sometime games. In this playoff series, he had 29 the first game. He had 5, 2, 20, 6, and 23. So in a series, he's only showing up in 3 games out of the 6 that they played. And now he's talking about he's got a hamstring injury. He's hurt and he's playing through it. Really? Is that what we're gonna do with OG ain't nobody? That's what a $200 million contract look like. 45 million on your cap. That's what it looks like. The actual scope of the thing is this, y'all. Because I want people to understand when we talk about it, it's not just a bunch of rhetoric. We're actually spitting the truth. Because people out there need to understand that this is real. It's not a joke. It's not a game. We're being real about it. Now, when people think of the spectacular or the extra that they see and hear in their everyday walks of life, this is kind of the things that they talk about. It's about what you want to hear, not what you think you hear. Now, Mikal Bridges, let's get to him. Mikal Bridges has a cap hit of 23.3 million. A dead cap value is at 23 million against the Knicks. So he's getting $23 million. Has he played up to that $23 million this year? I think not. I think Mikal Bridges, and I almost said Miles Bridges. I think he hasn't played up to that potential. And these are supposed to be your lockdown wings, right? I actually thought the Knicks would be better this year. I thought they would be a better team. This team is trash. They play like utter trash. They have no offensive structure whatsoever. The spacing is horrible. Well, Bridges is going to be a free agent soon, unless they re-sign him. Mikal Bridges declined the Knicks' 2-year, $60 million offer, which is rightfully so, because he's sucking it up on the court. You got this sometimes player, right? He has 9 points in one game. He has 23, but he only hit he was like 11 for 21. He was 1 of 6 from 3. He was terrible. And this is the playoff series. He had the one game, he had the 14 points. It was like he got the 2 biggest wins for the Knicks. Defensive plays at the end. Bad decisions is what got them in this hole, meaning the Boston Celtics. Bad decision. He scored 14 points all in the fourth quarter, all of his points. But you got 3 scoreless quarters? And I'm supposed to trust you? But it's New York basketball. This team gives up the most open threes of any team that's left in the playoffs. But yet, I'm supposed to believe that this is the team that's supposed to win the NBA championship this year. This is an NBA championship team. You have a coach who's not accustomed to winning. The only time he's won a championship was with the Boston Celtics when Doc Rivers was the head coach. Tibbs is a defensive coach, but defensively, this team has not looked unbeatable. You got Carl Anthony Towns, who was supposed to be your big, powerful man in the middle. He was supposed to be the big guy, the cat. The kitty cat comes in and getting almost $50 million a season. He's getting 49 million, the highest on the team. And they talk about the Celtics got a $500 million team. The Knicks roster is way bigger than the Boston Celtics. You're taking a $49.2 million cap hit. So you want to talk about the $500 million Celtics? You talk about this doggone ridiculous New York Knicks salary cap. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. 35% on the cap hit. Oh man, this dude stuck y'all up. Now, because of this cap hit, it leaves very little wiggle room. So you had to get Butterball to come in and take a pay cut. Who's supposed to be your star player taking a pay cut for the team? Wow. That is very generous of him. Missing out on possible hundreds of millions of dollars, probably 104 million. That he was eligible for. And his goddaddies said, no, we got you. We're going to take care of you. This is for the team. We're going to get you your money, Butterball. Now, Cat, who's played terrible this whole series, even though they got him registered at putting up 14, 21, 21. Cat's been putting up 21s and 23s. He's been playing terrible. He's been terrible from three. He's been terrible going in there, losing the ball with turnovers. He's not getting any rebounds or assists. That really impact the game. This guy should be a walking double-double every night. And with Indiana bigs on the floor, well, let's just say I don't have high hopes that they would let the Indiana Pacers go to the NBA Finals. I just don't think so. I think they need their big market celebrity. I mean, who is who in Indiana is gonna be the celebrity? Huh? They gonna have Drew out there? Drew from Gotham? That's about the biggest Pacer fan there is out there from Indiana. They gonna show him at the game sitting courtside. That's how you know it's over. It's over. It's done. Well, when you look at the main scope of everything, then you'll start to understand it clear. You'll start to see that there's a bigger problem on the horizon. Oh, absolutely. When you got old kitty cat out there. Let's get to the bigger problem of the team that these dum dums don't seem to understand. You have no bench. I repeat, you have no bench. Cameron Payne, got Shamit, no bench. But guess who they put all their stock in to save the team? The guy that they love so much, who think he's the biggest problem on the floor, Mitchell Robinson. A guy who can't be trusted to be on the court at the end of games because he's a poor free throw shooter. With a playoff season high of 8 points when he played 23 minutes, getting 20 something minutes a night. He's a problem out there. The Western Kentucky foul habit, 7'4" wingspan from the 7 foot tall man. Mitchell Robinson. Constant injuries have kept Mitchell Robinson on the sideline. Constant injuries is what he's been dealing with his entire playoff career. Well, not playoff, but NBA career. And now that they have him for these Eastern Conference finals, will he be the difference maker on the rebounding boards? Will he be able to stop the Indiana Pacers, who fast break better than any team in the NBA? Well, we're going to see. Because, see, the thing about the Pacers is they're disciplined. They don't mind being down. They know how to come back and get themselves into games. But let's look at Mitchell Robinson. Is this guy a rebounding machine? Really? Mitchell Robinson might give you 7 rebounds coming off the bench. He's not going to be giving you too many assists. But where are the blocks? Shouldn't this big 7'4" guy be giving you blocks? I'm just saying. Your big man should be providing you with a boost, right? I mean, that's just me. I don't. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a little messed up. Maybe I don't see things right. What about Precious Achua? Well, the way I see it, Precious Achua, who's another loser on the New York Knicks, they've got a team full of them. Precious Achua, he actually wasn't bad in college in Memphis. He actually had potential. But Tibbs doesn't trust him. Didn't hardly ever play him. I don't think he's seen the court in the Pistons series. Barely seen the court at all in any of the games that they've played. He can't stay on the court for more than 2-3 minutes before he gets the hook, and then he's out. So I can't trust him at all. He had gotten, I think he played, 9 minutes the last game and got 6 points. Then the other time he played, he got 6 minutes. He got 6 points in 6 minutes. That's it. He can't get on the court. So I don't know what else you want me to say about Precious Achua. It's hard to evaluate him because in the regular season he played 20 minutes a night and he got you 6 points, but he at least gave you 6 rebounds a game, and he was shooting 50% from the field. He wasn't a big 3-point shooter, but he doesn't need to be. I think if you develop him more, you can start to move on from people like OG, who's eating up your salary cap, and you're not going to get the production out of him. Because if the Knicks don't win the championship now, they can kiss next year goodbye. Yeah, seeing those things go goodbye and bye bye and blowing up in your face, this is what we're talking about. The New York Knicks are frauds. This is a below average team based to, if you look at every team that's left in the playoffs right now, like we haven't had the Denver game yet, but if you look at the Denver Nuggets, you look at OKC, Indiana, Minnesota, and then you look at those teams. They all play better than the Knicks. That's just facts. They was like, man, they beat the Indiana Pacers. I've been going back watching the games, the Pacers and Knicks, to see how they match up this season. And you played the Pacers in opportunistic situations. In one game, y'all just had it going, but another game, eh. But I noticed once again they have open threes, fast break opportunities off y'all turnovers. Josh Hart was in foul trouble once again. It's it's one of those commonalities. Uh the New York Knickerbockers are just not that good. I'm sorry. It hurts to say. They're not a good basketball team. They're not appeasing to watch. I mean, just think about it. They're not real contenders. Brunson is not shouldn't be nobody's go-to guy down the stretch. This is a manufactured team by the NBA. They need somebody that brings in some of these celebrities. As you see in all these New Yorkers and people that's in New York, these doggone bridge and tunnel celebrities that they're bringing out to the games. That's what they want. Knick fans are scared. They were like, man, I just hope Brunson can hold up with his ankles. We're in trouble. And people just don't like Knicks fans because the Knicks fans are Weirdos.
How do you feel about Boston losing? I don't give a fuck! Knicks is 6! Pussy! Took all that shit now! Took all that shit now! What do you gotta say?
You know what's crazy? Oh, nah. Oh! Oh! Nah. Oh! Yeah. So she's trying to save the day. Oh, shit. Yo. Nah. And we got this shit on camera? Nah, it's because he went on the Pacers. Like, they nuts.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my own fucking business.
Oh, shit. She tried to say the day that she like, never mind. I ain't doing shit. Nah, they violated. You know what's crazy? Oh! Alright. Knicks at 6. Boston pulled up. He tried to go. Fit. Now he gotta drink out of my fucking shoe.
How do you Knicks shoe?
Knicks shoe, baby. Knicks at 6.
I'm cooked.
It's a nice shoe, too, yo. Yo! Wait till it hits 0. Wait till it hits 0.
All right, ready? No, we're ready.
Yeah,
It's over, dog.
Take that shit. Take that shit to the head. Take that shit to the head. Come on. Say yes. Go. Yeah. Let's fucking go, Knicks.
Crazy, right?
Yo, Migos.
No me gusta.
Yo, it ain't done, dog.
No me gusta.
Yo, it ain't done. Drink out my shoe. Yeah, bro. Let's go, Knicks.
Oh, no.
Somebody said they're good enough to be good, but bad enough not to be elite. We are the epitome of a third seed. That is the best way to put the Knicks. They are a third seed team. And that's what they are. Now, if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose to the Pacers, you might as well scratch them for next season. Because next season, oh boy. I don't see you going back, Jack. I don't see you going back to the NBA Finals. If they want to stick you there, fine, but they're only using you because Tatum's hurt. All of the promotion and marketing was for them. Boston was supposed to go, but without Tatum to sell their marketing and all their commercials, because you're losing money on Superman. And that's why they did the Superman commercial. Superman don't come out until July, but they supposed to promote that all throughout the NBA Finals. And we all know we haven't gotten there, right? That commercial was supposed to run for about 2 months. Now that Tatum tore his doggone Achilles, Superman is down. Superman was back in a wheelchair. Well, there's a lot of pressure that comes along with the requirement of doing what people say is the necessary and doing what is required. I think that's where we have a confusion. Now, look, I get it. You like the Knicks, right? There's a lot of people that like the Knicks. They're the good old home team that get you up and get you down. Right? It's like a Bulls fan, right? They're like, all right, the Bulls are going to be great. And then they suck again. And you just don't know why. Because they have no personality. They don't have an identity. And every time they get close to one, they find a way to screw it up. And then the person that they should have been behind the whole time, well, he's been in the league 20 years and we've blown his potential. Now he's ready to go to another team and flourish. And then Bulls fans will be saying, damn, we used to have that guy. That's how the Knicks are going to be. They're going right back to what they are. Gosh, we used to have that guy. That's what you're going to hear because they're going to have to split this team up. Brunson's not going to be able to keep taking pay cuts. How long do you think you're going to have OG? What about Bridges? You got money to get Kevin Durant. It's a joke. The New York Knicks are a joke. And to parade and masquerade this team around as if it's something that the world was going to get behind. The sewer-driven Knicks. No. Let them go back in the sewers like the turtles and rats they are. We have had it up to here with inferior basketball. It's time to get rid of the frauds and the imposters and put people back in their lane. What, do they think the Cavs are going to suck next year too? No, the Cavs are going to go right back to winning 60 games. And hopefully they play smarter in the playoffs and learn how to win pressure games. Learn how to make better decisions down the stretch. But all your 60-win teams are losing. This is a shock and awe. Well, the Knicks are here by default. They'll take it. They've sucked for so long. They'll take anything somebody can give them. They'd be like, I don't care how we won. We here, baby. Hey, we here. It's like, go ahead, Knicks fans. I understand. Because you guys have rooted for this inferiority for a long time. Well, people want to blame coaching, right? What about Tibbs? All right, let's talk Tibbs. Right? Let's talk Tibbs. Tibbs is to blame whenever they lose, but he never gets the credit when they win. Why is that? So when they lose, he's the worst coach in the history of sports. How many times have you heard Tibbs being awful? Just an awful coach. Tibbs doesn't know what he's doing. We lost this game because of Tibbs. But when they win, it's because of Brunson. Oh, my goodness. Now, when Tibbs called an isolation 101 play for Brunson for the game, right? And the play they run to get the ball to Brunson, he gets no credit. But let's rip him to shreds. Is Tibbs a good coach? To a degree. He has his flaws. But you're only as good as your personnel. You can tell somebody what to do, but can they execute? That's the biggest question on the floor. You want to make sure you have somebody that can execute. Well, they have a history of front office decisions that hasn't worked out for them. You have significant contributors to the Knicks issues in the past, performance issues, their performance on defense, their inability to consistently guard opponents at the perimeter, meaning the three. They have a lack of a vision for building a winning team in history. It's been that way. So inconsistent coaching that has always contributed to the struggles of the New York Knicks. Their defense is weak. Opponents are shooting threes with no problems whatsoever. It's so much inconsistency on screens when guarding the players that are hot. You know, you're letting role players like Derek White hit like 5, 6, 7 threes a night. You know, it's not advantageous of them to do such things. The Knicks have had a history of trading away promising players for less value and overpaid role players that they should have let go to other teams who are just going to play just to have a star player on their team. By overpaying for OG Ananobi or Ain't Nobody, you have basically broke the cohesiveness and the chemistry of what the Knicks actually is, which is teamwork and chemistry and injuries. All of these things come to play when you're playing so many minutes that down the stretch the team breaks up and falls apart. So don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. I see y'all out there. Hit the like button if you agree with what's going on out here. Support the channel. Of course, Knicks fans are delusional. Look at them. They're never going to tell you anything about the Knicks and what they need to do because they're just going to wallow in where they are right now. They're not going to try to fix what's wrong. And then all of a sudden, boom, the shoe dropped. And then they're wondering why they're losing. Like it came out of nowhere. And that's why I present to you your New York Knicks. The biggest frauds in the National Basketball Association. I'm out.